award-winning Chicago chef and restaurateur. Born in Chengdu in southwest China, Tony graduated from the Culinary Institute of Sichuan. He moved to the US in 1993 and opened his first restaurant, Lao Sichuan, 5 years later, growing the business into a chain of 17 restaurants.
Happy family, 全家福. We opened Lao Sichuan in 1998, January 1st in Chicago, Chinatown. That is the first Sichuan cuisine restaurant in the Midwest of America. People love it, and I'm glad people like it.
Sichuan food is known for its bold and spicy flavors. The Chinese New Year is always a time for him to reflect and think of the family and friends he left behind in search of his dream.
Chinese New Year's mean to us a lot, and because we are outside of our China for a long time, but I still miss my family. I still miss my mom very much, especially holidays. And the Chinese New Year is the biggest, most important holiday in Chinese holidays. It's most important in our life, which makes us homesick a lot. This is a calamari, right? This is lobster. We have with scallops. This is shrimp. Wow, happy family. I often tell my friends and family and staff, our most important families are far away from China. So good friends here, our staff here, is our family members. Okay, today you take one. This is for Chinese New Year. Oh, happy Chinese New Year. Chicago is our home, but Sichuan, Chengdu, I am from Chengdu. Chengdu is my hometown forever. I love both countries. I love both cities. I love both people in my life. I care.
Tony is joined for a Chinese New Year lunch by Mia Wan, who is also from Sichuan province. She is the owner of Tiamo, a company specializing in bubble tea and pastries.
Chinese New Year means a lot to me. I have a big family, so every Chinese New Year we will cook at home. Like all our family members will come to our house, and then we cook all together. So that's a really good time for us to share our whole year experience. And then if who need help or who did good, we will communicate with all the experience, try to help each other, and also that's can build a lot of memories to us. So without my parents, I miss them a lot. So we will do video chat with them, with all our relatives, for the video chat, and then we will say good wishes to everyone. For me, it's more like reconnection, reunion with my family. That means a lot to me. So we connect through the food, the smell, but the feeling of the whole family actually being together and then enjoy the cherished time. It's really important for me.
Happy New Year! 新年快乐！新年快乐！新年快乐！
Game time in St. Catharines, Canada. This is the Niagara Ice Dogs, an ice hockey team that plays in the Ontario Hockey League. A key player on the team is 18-year-old Kevin He. Last year he became the first Chinese-born player to sign a National Hockey League contract.
I remember being at the draft with my family and hearing your name get called up, and it was a pretty surreal moment. It's something you dream for as a kid, and for that to happen, it's pretty surreal.
Growing up, his father took him to shopping malls in Beijing to learn how to skate and rollerblade.
Yeah, I started skating in Beijing when I was around 2, and then I lived there until I was 6, and then that's when I moved to Montreal. Initially, my dad kind of came over to Canada to do his studies abroad, so he went to University of Moncton, and that's kind of where he fell in love with the game, and he used to watch hockey night in Canada and whatnot. And then once he had me, I guess, started rollerblading with me initially, and then started skating on these shopping malls.
He moved with his family from China when he was just 6. Now 18, he has an amazing opportunity ahead of him. After being drafted by NHL side the Winnipeg Jets, he was then loaned back to Niagara to continue his development. His goal now is not just to be the first Chinese-born player to be signed by an NHL team, but to go on and actually play in the NHL. It is something that his coach is confident will happen.
Do I believe that Kevin is going to play in the NHL? 100%. I mean, he is a natural-born superstar. I think Kevin's path, his trajectory is just being, patient. I mean, he's going to get there. I mean, he's got the willingness to keep doing the things that he needs to do. He just needs to be patient. He will be an NHL player one day, mark my words.
It means everything, just how far my family has come and how far I've come along in this journey. I think it means everything for me.
Although he left China when he was young, the Chinese New Year remains a key part of his family's identity.
Very fond memories of my grandparents are still in China. I FaceTime them, at least I try, I'd say twice a month. So I guess just keeping up with them and see what they're doing. And it was really important to my family. I think it was a time where everyone could get together. All throughout my life, it's been something that we're looking forward to, and it was a huge thing for us. For us, it was more just getting the family together and whatnot, and kind of just being grateful for a lot of things and going into the new year.
A freezing day in Muscatine, Iowa. This city in the state of Iowa holds a special place in US-China relations. It is here 40 years ago in 1985 where China's President Xi Jinping, then a county-level official, led a delegation to the US. A key part of the tour was to better understand modern agricultural techniques. Luca Baroni was Xi Jinping's guide and chaperone in 1985.
We toured Iowa farms, businesses, visited with people throughout Iowa, and spent, as I said, 2 weeks together in a state van traveling around.
As part of the trip, Xi Jinping stayed in this house.
I believe the highlight of the trip was the fact that due to lack of availability in hotels in Muscatine, Iowa, we arranged for homestays, and that turned out to be a memorable experience for our Chinese friends that really was different from what they're anticipating.
Sarah Landy served as the executive director of Iowa Sister States, a nonprofit that builds Iowa's partnerships with the world.
That worked out really well, and I think they made popcorn for him, and they bought him milk and brownies to bread in his room. And I think they got the warm hospitality that maybe they could from a family that they would maybe have with their own friends.
Xi Jinping returned to Iowa in 2012, shortly before becoming China's president. He once again met with his old friends. Landy hosted a reunion in her home.
When Xi Jinping was getting ready to leave and head to Des Moines for the state dinner, well, everybody was on the stairs for this photo opportunity, and he said, "You were the first people I met in America. To me, you are America." And that almost, it warmed our hearts and probably toasted our ego, but it made, well then, by golly, we better be the best people-to-people friends that you have.
Over the last few years, school children from the Muscatine area have visited China and vice versa. It followed Xi Jinping's announcement in San Francisco in November 2023 that he wanted to promote student exchanges between the two countries.
They get to meet their counterpart and spend one night in a student's similar ages in their home. And they just see the tradition, and I think they are just sort of blown away by how China has developed and the bigness of their cities, and of course they were treated well. In a way, it gets, the more we're unlike, really the more we're like, more we're the same.
in this particular time, we need more of this type of exchanges. I'm a strong believer of the ripple effect, obviously not necessarily for gain, but to make sure that there are fewer misunderstandings and better opportunities for everybody.
Another element of these exchanges, it allows China students the chance to learn about American traditions, such as Thanksgiving, while American students can understand Chinese culture, including the importance attached to Chinese New Year.
In 2024, over 200 kids from Iowa experienced China and experienced Chinese people at a different level. And it really is amazing to me in recent weeks how many of them really captivated the spirit of the New Year and the Lunar New Year by wishing their friends, their Chinese host, a Happy New Year.
We've learned from the Chinese visitors how important your festivals and New Year's are to the people. It's like our Christmas and our Thanksgiving. I believe that learning more about the Lunar New Year and the activities around it have been a good way for us to tell other people in our communities about China and Chinese people.
Whether it is through music, through culture, or through food, people around the world are celebrating the Chinese New Year, bringing people closer together.